am in a good mood today. What's good, everybody? Welcome into the Early Edge, your daily sports betting brand of record. We have been here every single day since December 2020, and I hope that you tailed us the last 2 days. Monday, 11-4, but yesterday we went a step further. We went a step higher. Look at this board. Are you serious? That's just the morning show. Now let's take a look at Early Edge in 5 every weekday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Calvin, Prop Stars, myself, sweeping the board collectively 24-7 the last 2 days. I think Johnny Potseed in the chat said it best. Lead us to the water, coach. We are thirsty. We want to be hydrated. That's exactly my job. And shout out to my daughter. I told her I would wear this today. A gorgeous Father's Day gift from her. Awesome, just like my daughter. Let's have an awesome day. Let's bring in the stars of the show. And you know when I got these three, are you serious right now? First and foremost, live from Nashville, Tennessee, the penthouse level. M Squared, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Beautiful day out here. Definitely a hot one, though. You mentioned hydrate already. Make sure everybody's hydrating out there. It is hot across the country. But beautiful day. Watching some tennis this morning, and we have day baseball. You know Wednesdays are my favorite days now, so let's do it.
Favorite two words in the Early Edge vernacular, day baseball. Next, live from Las Vegas, Sin City. There's always something going on. Yesterday, they announced that Triple G, Canelo, going to happen in Las Vegas in September. Zach Attack, good morning, sir.
Yeah, there's always some big events here, Coach. I wish there was some tennis action about 9:30 p.m. last night because I was ready for some tilt action after the Blue Jays blew that game. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Those type of losses are going to happen. All I could do is I turned off the TV. It's like, I got to sleep this one off. So I got a great night of sleep, and we're ready to do it today.
What Zach went through last night, 4-2 on the Blue Jays, bottom of the ninth, nobody on, and they lose. They lose. Nobody on, 2 outs in the ninth, and they're up 2, and they lose. Oh, now the man who lives and dies, sometimes even live on the show. He is the Maestro. He's our heartbeat. Larry Hartstein, good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. I was happy to go 1-0, but look at you and AB going 4-0. Beautiful. I also want to apologize in advance for the background music. I'm not broadcasting outside. I am inside in my usual spot.
Oh, it's okay. We know at the Hartstein estate, you've got the, what do you call them? The people that do the yard and the people that trim it all up and nice. That's because you got a big estate, Larry. But how do we pay for said estate? Well, we got to get to our picks. But before we get to our picks, we got to do our storylines that could affect the betting lines today. Let's get right into it. And you heard Mikey say, day baseball? What? But that means there could be weather that could affect the totals. And you know that when you go 24-7, you better pay attention to the weather. Mikey, start us off.
Yeah, we got 3 spots we need to be concerned with today. Number 1, first game of the day, Toronto on the road in Chicago, plus 20% home run hitting, plus 10% in run scoring across the board. Dodgers on the road at Cincinnati, big warm spot there today, plus 15% in home run hitting. And then the only other game that I want to talk about, Baltimore-Washington. This one's kind of a mess, a lot of storms around the area. It's really difficult in the summer to project this far out if they're actually going to be able to play or not. It's definitely got postponement potential, delay potential. So what I like to do with these, look at the starting pitching. If you don't love the starting pitching, I generally like to take unders on strikeout props, knowing that there's potential delays coming anyway, because pitchers may get pulled early in delays. So only if you don't like the pitching situation, but that's one way you can take advantage of Baltimore and Washington.
Man, educate and entertain all the time. Another level to betting K-props. By the way, Prop Stars, undefeated since he became full-time in his articles at SportsLine. Just another reason to become a member. Now, the Cleveland Browns, potentially they got some good news yesterday, as 20 of the 24 lawsuits against Deshaun Watson have been settled. But what does that mean from a betting perspective? Maestro, you're up.
Going to affect their disciplinary process, and they are still reportedly pursuing a significant suspension for him. we can look at the books. Most books took down the win total. Caesars opened 9.5 for the regular season wins when they first got Watson. But then when it became clear he's probably going to miss time, they took it off the board. Almost every other book took the win total off the board. But you look at the odds that Caesars has, 20-1 to win it all, 10-1 to win the division, and the 10-1 to win the conference, third choice to win the division. Craig Mucklow from Caesars told me last night that basically they're just letting the action dictate. They're not going to make any guesses or assumptions on the suspension. Interesting, though, Circa is hanging 8.5. They're one of the only books that has a win total. And 8.5, if Deshaun Watson is there for the whole season, over looks pretty good. But if it's Jacoby Brissett for the whole season, then you've got to figure under looks good. I feel that's a hedge, maybe expecting about 6 or 8 games for Deshaun Watson. But again, we just continue to wait to see about that suspension.
Yeah, my gut tells me he's not going to see the field this year. I just don't think he's going to see the field in 2022. But we'll have to wait to see. But I think that's going to come from everything I've seen on social media, even though social media isn't real, somewhere in the first week of July, I think, is what they're targeting. All right, now, tomorrow night, the NBA draft. Will somebody's fortunes be changed forever? We will have a couple of picks on tomorrow's show. Also, we've got Early Edge at 5. We want to throw some stuff on there as well. But just for your storyline tonight, Zach Simony, I wore my Phoenix Suns hat. Why am I wearing my Phoenix Suns hat, sir? What do you got?
Well, the Phoenix Suns, if you're looking to see where they have a pick in tomorrow's draft, they don't have one. No first-round pick because of the Chris Paul trade a few years ago. No second-round pick because of the Torrey Craig trade. So what are they going to do? There's heavy rumors involving them. We saw how they finished off in the playoffs. They had a strong regular season, 64 wins, but they need to add some personnel to that team, whether it's via free agency or get some young players in this draft. There's strong rumors that they may trade up into the lottery. So you're going to want to follow some of those Phoenix Suns insiders on Twitter to see if they do make a move. And then possibly, I don't think there's any draft you can get an edge on here. For their season win total, they crushed it last year. They were 51.5. They won 64 games. Let's see if they add a couple more pieces to that group, especially that second unit.
And I know if they do that, you're going to be reporting it right here on the Early Edge because you take care of that for us. Everybody on the crew has a job to do. Sack Attack, thank you very much. Now, it's almost an embarrassment of riches. 11-4, 13-3. But the one thing we never do, because the Maestro will not allow it, is get ahead of ourselves. We just put one foot in front of the other. We just try to win more than we lose. So as we get to our board first, though, we've grown so big we have to pay those pesky little bills. Here's a word from one of our partners. And we are back. All right, if you're not a SportsLine member, what are you doing? I tell you all the time, and every day that passes, you're just costing yourself more and more money. Literally costs you $10 a month. 2 big plays. You can go back to the well again. Lightning. Home team wins in the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's just the way it goes. We're going to take the Lightning, -105. We're also going to take Tampa on the team total, over 2.5. The winning team in these playoffs, most of the time, get to at least 3 goals. That's why it's a little juicy. But as we always like to say, sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze. And today is one of those days. All right. Now, you know when he's on the show, he always goes first, and I always get pumped up. But today is extra special because we're trying to keep something going. So, Mikey, keep us going. You know the drill, son. Oh, you put him back in a corner? Nobody does that to M squared. Give it to me.
All right. Start with the day baseball that you know I love. Toronto Blue Jays over 4.5, -110 on the team total. Played that at Win this morning. Want to pick on Lucas Giolito just a little bit here. 369 weighted on base average. The bad news for the White Sox, that's right in line with his expected number at 360. He's also getting barreled up at a pretty ridiculous rate. So what I'm looking at here is this game is priced as if he's still an elite starting pitcher, and what he's shown from us, he definitely is not. There have been 164 starting pitchers or pitchers in general that have thrown have had 100 batted ball events so far this season against them. Giolito ranks 140th out of 164 pitchers this season. And then where it's really concerning is how hard he's getting hit and the distance there. Looking at the average distance of those batted balls, he rates 155th of the 164 pitchers out there with that big of a sample size. Love the Blue Jays team total over 4.5. Already mentioned in the earlier part of the show here, if you watch the storylines, plus 20% home run hitting, plus 10% overall run scoring there. Let's get the Blue Jays to their 5th run of the game at some point here, minus 110.
Mikey, once again, showing us all there are levels to this game. And by the way, speaking of levels, I just noticed in the chat, Jairi Turner is back. Jairi, one of our favorite fans, one of our loyal fans, but sometimes, here on the show, if you step up, you want to be counted, sometimes you got to be called out too. And yesterday, our man Jairi, he got taught a little lesson by Prop Stars in a little showdown on Early Edge in 5. So Jairi, I appreciate and respect the fact you showed up this morning, but maybe next time, just stand down a little bit. Just stand down a little bit. Prop Stars is the GOAT. You cannot challenge him. You cannot challenge him. All right, now, where do I go next? Speaking of Prop Stars, who likes to give K props, see how that flowed right into Zach Attack? Floor is yours, sir.
All right, definitely not touching the side today, so we're going with a pitching prop. Pablo Lopez over 5.5 strikeouts, minus 145 for the juice. We saw the Rockies have a big lead yesterday, blow it, come back, and still lose to the Miami Marlins. I like 2 things here. Lopez's history versus the Rockies, and he is going to be motivated. 3 career starts against the Rockies, 2019. Gave up just 5 hits, had 7 strikeouts. Last season, his longest outing of his career against the Rockies, 8 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, and then this season on May 30th, he went 6 scoreless innings, and this is where the motivation comes in. The bullpen came in the 7th inning, blew the game, gave up 7 runs. So I think he's going to be motivated to have another strong outing against the Rockies, and this is his 2nd time in less than a month facing them. We'll take his over K-prop at over 5.5 at minus 145.
You just said K-prop. Warms my heart to hear you say K-prop just like that. Oh, in the chat, a lot of people are talking. They're talking. Jairi says, I'm always coming back, coach. We respect that. You can't get knocked down from one single solitary showdown. Elliot said, I wouldn't even challenge Prop Stars. Meeting ended early. I made it in time for M Squared's team total special. I wonder if we need to brand that segment. I'll have to think about that. Maybe Mikey with another branding. He already has several, but all right, now it's time to cash with the coach. Now, I told you yesterday, I do not even respond to people who say, hey, coach, what's your record? I just go out there and cash tickets. 2 days ago, 4-1. Yesterday, 4-0. That's 8-1 the last 2 days. So where do we go today? These two just jumped off the page. More of a gut today for me. But I'm going to go Red Sox on the money line. I cannot even believe that this number was this short at minus 130. Pitching matchup, just better. Red Sox, just better. They're going to score north of 5. I almost played the team total. I didn't, but I liked it. Then play number 2, we're going right back to Miami. Rockies and Marlins over 7.5, minus 118. Again, a very conducive pitching matchup for a lot of runs to be scored. So, Red Sox money line, Rockies, Marlins over 7.5. And let's continue to cash with the coach. Now, there's a lot of people that have their eyes on the Windy City on that Blue Jays White Sox game. Maestro, I'm going to lean back. And the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, well, it feels good to correlate with Mike. I'm going to take the Blue Jays in the first 5 innings, plus a half a run, coming back at minus 134 on FanDuel. I'm seeing this line all over the place, but that is the best that I could find for this play, and it all comes down to the starting pitchings. Mike mentioned it, Giolito getting barreled up a lot. 3 of his last 4 starts, he's been shelled, including one by the Blue Jays where they got 6 earned runs and 8 hits in 4 2/3 innings, and he needed 99 pitches and didn't even finish the 5th inning. But Ross Stripling, nicked up a little bit by the Yankees last time out, but before that, 13.2 scoreless innings, including 2.2 scoreless innings against these same White Sox. The White Sox 27th in OPS against righties. The Blue Jays are 7th. Now, I am worried that George Springer is out, and I know Tim Anderson is back, and he's amazing. His on base is about 400. Having said all that, just the way the pitchers are, I'm going to play the Blue Jays in the first 5.
They don't scare us, Maestro. They don't scare us. We're taking the Blue Jays, baby, plus that half. By the way, in the chat, Brock Newsom says simply these guys really are the best, too. Well, 24-7, pretty nice guys. We include you. We talk to you. We have fun. What else do you want? Now, grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of the jeweler on the ones and the twos today. Maestro, Blue Jays, we're never scared, plus a half. First 5 innings, minus 134. Then my M squared. Got to figure out a name for that segment. I like that idea. Blue Jays, team total, over 4.5. Then Zach Attack, little K prop today. Homage to prop stars. Pablo Lopez, over 5.5. Then if you're going to cash with me, you're going to do it the Red Sox on the money line. And then we're going down to South Florida, Rockies, Marlins, over 7.5. Then 2 plays from SportsLine. Lightning on the money line. Home teams just win in the playoffs in the NHL. Then Tampa Bay team total over 2.5, minus 160. A little juicy, we know. Jeweler, show your face. Oh, I love seeing this face so very much. How was your trip to Boston, by the way?
My trip to the U.S. Open was so freaking good. And do you know why that is, Coach? Because I got to see the best Irish player in the world, Seamus Power, up close and personal, which is why we're going to take Seamus Power top 20 at plus 220 as one little gem for the week. They are playing at the Travelers Championship at TPC River Highlands. It's a short course, relies on accuracy. Power's been having a great season. He's had a top 20 finish in 3 of his past 4 events, and he's had 11 top 20 finishes this season in 22 starts. So we're going to take the plus 220 number on Power to finish inside the top 20. Minjee Lee, first round leader for the Women's PGA Championship at Congressional this week, plus 2,500. Sometimes I like playing a player that might be a bit more chalky. You know, she's plus 1,200 to win the tournament. You get essentially double those odds for just her to lead after the first round, especially on the LPGA where top of the leaderboards can be very consistent as far as the top players look very similar. Their games around, like as far as ball striking goes, you pretty much have like Minjee Lee, Jin Young Ko, Nelly Korda, Lydia Ko. There's going to probably be your players at the top every single week, week in and week out, especially in a major. I'll take Minjee Lee. She's the LPGA leader in strokes gained total, as well as scoring average to lead after Thursday.
Look at the jeweler with the LPGA knowledge, dropping it on everybody this morning. By the way, we're adding more content coming up this morning at 11 a.m. Eastern time, correct? Jeweler, we have more from the Travelers. I'm actually hosting, and we have different kinds of picks. It's a little bit different of a betting show, correct?
Yes, sir. That's going to be over on the First Cut YouTube channel with producer Troy. He's going to just guide you guys through a little betting action. Bring your picks for any golf right over there. First Cut.
I love it. First Cut team, boy, they need some time off. Jeweler's been to Boston. Rick is traveling back from Boston. How do I get stuck with all these extra shows? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, I'm not busy enough as it is. All right. That looks like a fantastic board. Don't forget, Early Edge in 5 today at 4 Eastern time. More storylines, more best bets for the night in sports. We love doing it. Gosh, we love doing this so much. So there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window for our entire crew. I love them all. M Squared, Zach Attack, the Maestro, the jeweler on the ones and the twos. And you know AB's never far away. I am the coach. Tell all your friends you want to be included. You want to be valued. You want to be listened to. It's right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.